Oh boy, oh boy. Support shouldn't be a death sentence. I don't know if anybody's heard about this, but the other day, Lori Carleton flew a pride flag at her shop in Cedar Glen, California. And on Friday, somebody shot her in the head for it. Lori was an ally, a small business owner, a wife, mother of 9 children, and a blended family. My heart is crushed for those who knew her and had ripped her away. She's a hero who wouldn't back down because of hate. I am beyond outraged. I'll have more to say tomorrow, but right now I have only fury, and I don't want to direct it wrongly. Shame on Yahoo for calling this a dispute. Yeah, fuck you, Yahoo, calling it a dispute. There is no dispute. When somebody decides to take it upon themselves to shoot a mother of 9 in the head for flying the wrong flag at her own business, her property, her business. This is where this shit inevitably leads. This is what happens when the wrong people are given a pulpit and they are allowed to say whatever they want, do whatever they want with impunity. Innocent people, and yes, she was completely innocent, die. They suffer and die. Shooter fled the scene on foot, but was later located by authorities near Torrey Road and Rouse Rancho Road. Suspect, who has not been identified, was killed during a lethal force encounter with police. If he thought shooting somebody made him feel like a man, why not stay there like a man and deal with the consequences of his actions, instead of fleeing the scene like a coward? Because to people with toxic ideas of manhood, being a man just means angry and violent, not standing by your actions or taking responsibility. To these people, being masculine just means being angry and violent. They don't bother thinking beyond that. Some of them do, and the reason that they run, probably this chode right here, is because they actually are under the impression they should not have to face consequences for their actions. These people actually believe they should be able to do whatever they want to whoever they want for whatever reason they deem necessary. It's not just this guy who shot this mother of 9 over a pride flag. There's way too much of this bullshit in this country. This country has a major manhood problem. It has a major education problem. It has a major maturity problem. They wouldn't even admit who they were voting for in 2016. I don't know who I'm voting for was code for Trump. You got any of them behind closed doors and the facade dropped. Cowards. Closet Trump supporters fascinate me. Like you know you're doing something wrong if you feel embarrassment for it. I keep saying this. Like about that bitch on YouTube who sang that song about how she hates Jews but wouldn't use the word Jew because she knew it would get her banned from YouTube. You can always tell when you're dealing with one of these idiots. If you got something to say, say it. If that's really what you believe, then own it. Don't backpedal later. You want to be a man, you want to be masculine, you want to be seen as something better and above everybody else, then say it. Say it out loud, say it proud, and let them do whatever the hell they want to do to you for it. You should be fully confident in gaining all the support you need and getting out of it sooner or later on your own because you're so brilliant and you're so masculine and people love you so much. Nope, you'll never see that. If they really are the silent majority, then they shouldn't feel embarrassed, right? Right? Or I'm a centrist, non political, I don't really care about politics, always Trump. Whenever somebody replies both sides, then you say, well, vote Democrat if you really believe that. And they'll always reply, nope, not doing that. Other big bullshit answer I hear is, I was a leftist, but they shoved wokeness down our throats. This is a hate crime. Well, yeah, you think? Good riddance to bad garbage. Honestly, I would have rather seen a trial. Think we'd be better off not knowing the murderer's name, especially since he, of course, took the coward's way out. Do you think it will deter others like him? I feel like there's a certain percentage of people in society that only understand violence, and this would have no sway on their actions. Being in prison would be more of a punishment for him? Yeah, it would have. And I'll say it, I don't like the prison system because I don't really much care for our justice system. And I sure as hell will never trust a cop in my life. But I'll say that and I'll stand by it. You want to know what the worst punishment would be for Trump? Bar him from social media. Just like you do with pedophiles. They already do this shit to people. They take away their electronic devices. They bar them from social media. They bar people from having pornography. Courts do all kinds of shit like that all the time. So go ahead and do it to Trump. Tell him he can go on and live the rest of his life. He's never allowed on social media again. In fact, he's never allowed online unless it's monitored. That will fucking kill him. Imagine telling him he's just fine. He can live the rest of his life just fine, but he can never do anything to try to get any attention for himself again. That will kill him. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. The gun is an ego booster for conservatives. It exists to prop up the weakness and insecurity that lies within. Being held accountable is their worst nightmare. So they use the gun to try and scare away the consequences. But it'll never scare away their fear. Fear leads to impulse, and impulse leads to consequences. In the end, they're still just as weak and insecure and useless as they were before. Why is this man not being named? So conservatives won't martyrize him. I think she responded to his bitching about the flag and he couldn't handle it. What a pathetic worm. From what I read last night, he had taken the flag down off her shop. and the confrontation ensued, and the fragile bastard shot her. No, it's not 'cause California. Okay, I'm not going to listen to people bitch about California. To be honest, cops will shoot anyone waving a gun no matter what the premise. Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of them just have power boners. Well, yeah, that's another thing. Don't think for a second they shot him because he was a bad guy. That I'm not going to even get into a deal with anybody about. Of course they shot him. Of course the cops killed him. It doesn't matter what flag he took down or what state he was in. It's domestic terrorism. What's the definition? An act of violence for the purpose of political goals, intimidation, and or coercion. If they are murdering people for these goals, it's straight up terrorism and has supporters in the political structure, and these people not only are loudly active online, they also threaten others with guns and even rally with the promotion of such goals. That country has a big problem. Damn, that really sucks. It's just fucking sad. Prepare your livers for Wednesday, folks. Take a drink anytime a candidate mentions the words woke, communist, or defends Trump. Ta! Poor Jenna is about to is about to enter the find out phase. What is this? I was reliably informed that Trump isn't funding any of us who are indicted. Would this change if he becomes the nominee? Why then, but not now? This is a bigger principle than just one man. So why isn't MAGA funding everyone's defense? Trump didn't cover anybody's legal fees after J6, Jenna. Where the hell have you been? He's got his own fish to fry right now. He doesn't give a fuck about you. He doesn't give a fuck about anybody. Now she's all scared. And yet she's been able to crowdfund 88K. The perpetual grifting continues until MAGA's donors finally go broke. Good. I hope whatever lawyer she gets for that meager sum advises her to cut a deal and testify against him. I hope the lawyer farts on her on live TV. I don't think Rudy is taking any new clients at this time. I'm hoping he'll endorse my shoe polish hair dye line. I'm calling it Patreon Patriot Freedom Polish. It's trademarked, so don't even try scoping me on this. I know it's gold when I see it. Tell your racist grandpa if he doesn't buy it, he's a groomer. Good, good. Let them go broke. The more broke they become, the more socialist programs they rely on to survive. The irony isn't dripping, it's a fucking waterfall at this point. They don't fucking care. They don't give a shit. The only thing that ever matters is themselves. They don't care. They don't think for a second how hypocritical they sound, how stupid they fucking look. For all the complaining they do about the economy being crap under Biden, apparently it's not hurting them since they have a fair amount of disposable income to keep giving to this fucking grifter. Hate to say it, but they deserve it. Let them go broke. Maybe then they'll understand. I don't feel bad saying it. I hope you go broke. Conservative Scientology. Fortunately, their disability and unemployment farm subsidies are keeping their bank accounts just full enough that they can afford the cash to own the libs. It's almost like something we told them would happen. And your parents had all that time pre-apprentice to think about what an asshat he was. To shreds, you say. Asking for handouts? Why don't you just pull yourself up by your bootstraps or something? What are you, socialist, Marxist, communist, pedophile Satan? Stop drinking Starbucks and avocado toast. Oh, speaking of Starbucks, mm, well, this is written like someone who's going to turn state's witness very shortly. Imagine being dumb enough to think this guy cares about literally anyone but himself. It's very sad. He's convinced millions of gullible Americans of this. Good. I hope she flips on him in her testimony. Who gives a shit? She doesn't need to do anything at this point. Look at this fucking trash. She's all in full out panic mode, switching back and forth between God and why don't you pay for my legal fees? Welcome to the real world. This is the part where you go broke, trying to dig yourself out of a hole. See how it feels. Ha! Funding everyone's defense. He won't even pay the people who work for him. Fat chance he's gonna fund their defense. Grifting all the way down. Have fun under the bus with Rudy and all the other MAGA morons. Sure, he will once he gets back from saving cats and dogs from the tropical storm in the southwest, feeding the inner city poor, and whatever else AI created image they're worshiping now. Yeah, did you see that shit? It's so pathetic. Here it is. For fuck's sake, MAGA is delusional. This is the new AI image they've got going around. Trump was spotted in Mexico rescuing a group of children from the floods caused by Hurricane Hillary. Tuh, that's not a bad AI. I want to see the replies to this tweet to find out if they think it's real. Guarantee you at least a handful think it's real. Is there a link? Maybe I should find it. I bet I can put it right here in the search bar. Or I'll look under Trump AI. Well, here's one of him as a chef. Here's one of him in the inner city. Oh, here's one of him as Moses. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Ha! This is a fine example of fake AI. Trump would use drowned children as a flotation device. I don't know. I'd have to look here. Let me switch over to my tweet. I'm sick of looking at this Kevin Sorbo bullshit. Oh, here's one with him wrestling an alligator. Nope, I don't see the AI image here. Don't forget that John Wayne was a bigot and a draft dodger. So it makes sense they would prefer someone with things in common to their false idols. Yeah, a few years back, I read a blog post by an older gentleman. I believe he was a Vietnam vet. He told how he would sometimes get into arguments with people who would lament that John Wayne was dead. We don't have heroes like that anymore, and they don't make movies like that anymore. And that's why everything has gone wrong with America. The way he described it, these people who were otherwise perfectly functional human beings could not distinguish between John Wayne and the characters he played on screen. They truly believed he was a Green Beret in Vietnam or fought in the U.S. cavalry and whatnot. The movie with Bryan Cranston, who played the blacklisted screenwriter Dalton Trumbo, delves into the known fact Wayne never served a day of service during World War II. Didn't stop him from becoming a war hawk for Vietnam, though. Chicken hawk is the more correct term. And you see, Robert Reich, I believe, went over this. This is one of the hallmarks of fascism. People, they don't even know, and they honestly don't care what these idols of theirs do or don't do in real life. When you're talking fascism, you're talking, they love to create a symbol. They love to create an image of the perfect man. And this guy is a superhero who has fought in every war and never backs down from a fight and is the smartest and he's the best and he knows how to shoot every gun and he knows how to win in every sport and he's always got the right thing to say. They create this image, this fictional image of a man, or as we're seeing with Trump, and we can see with other dictators throughout history, they take somebody who may already exist and they assign to them all of these wonderful things that these people have never fucking done, that they could never do, things that there are other people that may be doing them, but they don't care. Fascists have this idea. They look at their leader, and what they want is a leader that embodies everything that they want for their country, everything that they want to be, everything that they wish they could do, even if the facts are right there to the contrary, that this person doesn't exist, or this person you're putting all of this shit on never did any of these things or could never do any of these things. It doesn't matter to them. It's the fake image, the idea, everything. It's this whole false image of an idol that they love. That's what they want. That's what they want for themselves. That's what they want to think of themselves as. That's why this poor woman got killed for flying a pride flag. That's why Donald Trump exacerbated the problems with America, exacerbated the problems we have with manhood and a lack of education and a lack of maturity, problems with entitlement and selfishness and toxic ass masculinity, made it snowball into a problem that, we almost cannot handle anymore. That's why they make him out to be something he never was and never will be. Trump is one of the most despicable fucking examples of a human being you'll probably ever see in history. All the shit that's going on in the world, all the good that people do, all the bravery in their little finger that people like Trump do not have in their entire body. And it doesn't matter to these people. They would rather pretend. They would rather delude themselves. They'd rather pretend that Trump is a superhero rather than recognize real virtue, in real people around them. And according to Reich's video clip, which you can see on Twitter, that's one of the hallmarks of fascism. Creating this image or making a fantastical image out of your leader. Like they are what you want your country to be, what you want yourself to be, what you want your life to be, what you want all men to be, even if it's absolutely not true. They worship false idols, which I have to put in there, seeing as how a great number of these supporters are right-wing Christians or Christo-fascists. Trump is a false idol, but they don't care. They love fascism more than they do their Bible. They love anything else more than they do their Bible. Donald Fortunate Son Trump, spoiled little bitch coward. And the pro-military GOP would rather support him than McCain. I like people who weren't captured. The right loves the military, but repeatedly elect draft dodgers because it doesn't matter. None of these things fucking matter to them. They don't care about veterans. They don't care about women. They don't care about children. They don't care about their Bible. They don't care about anybody but themselves. I am so sick of hearing people bring this shit up over and over again like it's a surprise to them. Yeah, I know it doesn't make sense. Crazy, fucking, insane people don't make sense. That's why they're fucking nuts. He also attempted to assault the Native American woman that stood in for Marlon Brando at the Academy Awards and had to be physically restrained when he tried to rush the stage. Yeah, probably really tried to rush the stage because Marlon Brando is more of a legendary actor than he ever was. Anyway, that's it. I'm done with this shit. I'll see ya.